Yes. This is Bhaskar from SAK SAC Informatics. Again, we start the second session today. Sir, actually, Django is a completely web-based framework applications. So this is one of the framework only to design the web-based applications and websites. So here, morning onwards, we are discussing some information about this. One by one, we discuss now, and then we move to deep part into the Django part, sir. First one introduced to Django. Already we are discussed about this agenda, what we have created inside. So first one, what is the web framework? So any types of websites we have to develop purpose, we are using on front end for web-based application development process that is called as web framework. So this information we are given already. So just briefly we have discussed about this. What is that web framework? Web framework is a set of components designed to simplify your web development process. So whatever the web development process we have to take place into the websites that's called as web framework. Initially we have to discuss, and it has basic structuring tools in it which serve as a solid base for your project. So whatever the web-based application project development process we have to take into the application, then the time we are using this framework compulsory. So this web-based framework we are discussing about Django now. Okay, different web frameworks are there in previous also. So the differentiation is in previous every website or every web application we are generate or create everything in manual process. Now we are taking into automation process, automatic process here. So is it audible, sir? Is it audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. So now we focus on this. What is this type of structure? What is the difference between previous and present? Everything we have to know here. That is the main thing to discuss about this topic. So it allows you focus on the most important details and project goals instead of creating things that you can simply pull out of the framework. Just we are using framework, and what you require just you keep into the framework and you run the framework. That is the intention of this Django framework. Okay, so these web frameworks are different frameworks are available in IT sector, but Django is completely different, and it is very easy to understand, easy to create. There is no any complexity. This type of things are available inside in this Django framework. So this web framework process going on like this, what we had discussed previous. Okay, ma'am and sirs. So now, what is Django? So we have to know this one also. So Django is a web application framework written in Python programming language. So this complete Django framework, web application framework written in Python only. So we are using backend programming is Python completely. Python is interpreted programming language. Already we discussed in the morning, what is that history and what is the intention of Python and everything we have discussed in the morning. And it is based on MVT model, MVT design pattern. Already we discussed about this also. What is that model view template? So every web-based application is designing process based on three-tier architecture. So this three-tier architecture is giving first one database layer that is called as model, and weaves it's a business logic layer. It gives it interaction between the applications inside. What is the business logic using to database and front end to back end, whatever it is. And next, templates are, this is the presentation layer. This presentation layer gives the visualization part of your web-based application project. So this is the second one of the Django point of view. And second, there is complete a web-based application framework Django based on what is that? MVT, Model View Template. In previous programming, we are using MVC, Model View Controller. That is the difference between previous and present. The controls are different, templates are different. Controls just it's give the instructions how to implement, how to interact with different kind of application locations. But templates are completely visualization part. This is called as presentation. What you want to see in your website. What is your front end design that indicates and that display in the monitor. That purpose we are using this template process at MVT location. Next, the Django is very demanding due to its rapid development features. Why? Because nowadays, everywhere, the browser locations and the web-based application development locations, everywhere, the most they're using the technologies Django framework technology. Why? Because it's completely different. It's based on command prompt lines, and based on command lines, it's working. It's creating different kind of huge applications. That's why we are using this Django framework today. That's why it's very demandable and rapid development features inbuilt in Django framework. And one more, it takes less time to build application after collecting client requirements. So whatever the requirements we gather, so here when we discuss about the requirements, so every project based on requirement we have to development. We are taking development into the applications. So then the application building time, very less time we have to take at this location. So this application collecting the client requirements and build application taking time is very less. But because already we've seen that one in that practice session in the morning. So now the point 5, the farm is what is that? This framework uses a famous tagline. Already we discussed about this. The web framework for perfectionists with the deadlines. So it's taking as a best effort to take the development process in web development applications, web-based applications. So this is called. This is what we have to discuss about. What is Django? So next, history of the Django. So we have to discuss this history also very essential in this moment. Why? Because here history is creating different types of things, and it launching different types of versions. It established the different types of tools. Different modules are available in this particular history location. So here the Django framework that designed 2003 to 2018 and 18 to 2023 also. So now we are discussing in previous content. Already present content we are discussed in the morning, but now we have to discuss in previous content what happened inside the Django framework. So when we discussed about this history, publicly released under BSD license. Every project have this BSD license. The BSD license, without BSD license, that software was not applicable in the market, not to take process into the market. That's why this license came 2003 in every new versions. So 2003 to 2018, what is that given here? Django was designed and development by Lawrence General World, who is designed the Django. Here, Python designed by Guido van Rossum. We know about that. But who is designed by this Django? Lawrence General World. He is the person to design this Django development process. And he started at 2003. 2003, the year, then the time he introduced this Django framework. And next, first version released, 1.0 version is launched first. So Django different versions are using today. So 1.02, now we are using 4.7, 4.7.6, the advanced version we are using today. So current stable version in on 18 onwards, 2018 onwards, their using version is 2.0.3. 2.3, 3.0, 0.3 only. But now in 2023, they are launched 4.7.6. There is advanced versions. These versions are given different times. The version is the mention is version and date and description here. So each version including different kind of tools and modules, what different types of APIs, different kind of database connections, different types of browsers. These are they are using in previous versions 0.90, 16th November 2005. Then nothing will be there. They are given there. Nothing will be mentioned. Why? Because the versions are very less versions. The work also very less. Less work is going on in that versions. That's why. So 0.91 11 January 2006 is a magic removal. There's some different kind of descriptions they are giving based on their experiences working on that particular versions. So now we are working with 4.7.6. So these versions are increasing based on that versions regularly. So that versions given in input and their capabilities and stabilities are improved a lot based on their performances and based on the versions capabilities. So these are the versions they are using one by one. The descriptions are mentioned here like this. So the stabilities and the multiple time zones and supporting configurable models, different kind of database transaction managements and different kind of migration applications, loading configurations, and different types of native support of multiple template engines support it will to at least the versions based on version years, nearby years, and automatic password validations. So each version implement the self automatically. We are taking place into the Django location, Django framework location. So next, what is the futures of Django? This is also very essential here. So why? Because when we know the features of that particular technology, then only we have to understand the capabilities and abilities and what is that strengths inside the applications. So let me discuss about this features of Django. So rapid development. The first thing, what is that? The rapid development process, and it's completely versatile to previous programmings. It completely different kind of environment. It can completely create different environments, different kind of situations. It's maintained. So next, scalable. Time taking process also very essential in every framework. So the rapid development process taking is a very less time. So that's why with the scalability also we are measuring in this feature. So that is the very essential. Next, securability is very essential. Every application we have to develop into the websites. Website is completely third party location part. There is server side location, server side application. So then the time when the static application is not required proper security, but and dynamic application required completely proper security. Why? Because when we enter into third party, anyone stole the data, or anyone modified the data, or anyone hack the data. That's why we have to provide security much assured. That's why we are discussing about the future security also very essential. The security is given by this Django framework very high level. That's why we are discussing and we are using the technology today. So now and second, fourth one, the fourth and the fifth one, sixth one is open source. We have to discuss open source. Open source is mandatory in today. Why? Because number of systems are using this framework today. That's why it's completely taking place into open source. It's available. The availability is very essential in the market. So when we work with that particular software, the availability also one of the essential part to discuss into the session. Next, here, vast supported community, vast and supported community. It means what? Huge companies, the big companies, or big market locations are using this Django framework. That's why we are giving that feature into this Django framework. Vast support, vast and supported community. This is it's completely working with big organizations or big market locations. So that's why this futures are very fabulous features contained by this Django framework. That's why we are using this advanced technology today to develop the web-based applications in Python programming using in backend. So that is the intention of these features of Django. And next, Django installation. How to install the Django? Already we are discussing in the morning. The Django first installation. First visit Django official website www.djangoprojects.com and download Django by clicking on download section. Here we will see various options to download the Django. And here, the installation process purpose, we are using command prompt only. And next, Django requires a pip to start installation. Pip is a package management system. Pip is a package management system. We are installing the software, any packages or software installing into the command prompt. We are using this PIP. PIP is the package manager system, which is used to install and manage packages written in Python. What are the Python programming, Python packages or Python based software content? We have to installation into the system. We have to take place the required parties PIP. The PIP is the package manager system. Next, for Python 3.4 higher versions, PIP3 is used to manage packages. This is the previous part completely. This is the previous part. We are using PIP3. We manage the packages and install the packages, whatever. But now we are upper than the 3.4. Now we are starting from 3.7. We are using. That's why the PIP3 is not required at this moment. Just we are using PIP is enough. The PIP is provide the installation process, how to take place and install the software inside the computer systems. Now we have to move Django installation process and continuation part. In this tutorial, we are installing the Django in Ambed 2 operating system. Now we are using Windows, Mac, and Unix, whatever. Wherever the system, operating system we are using, we are install this process very easy, and this is completely platform dependent, not platform independent. So platform, this is not platform dependent; it's a platform independent. It means it's working with any operating system in this installation location. So now the complete installation process is described below. Before installing, making sure pip is installed in local system. Here we are installing Django using pip3 or not pip3, but now we are using pip only. Just the content is giving the previous versions what they are using. Just that purpose I am introducing this one. Installation command is given below. What is that? The pip install Django double equal to so and so. Now here we are using the version is 2.1.7. Why? Because here the Python when the compatibility also very important here. When we're using the version, based on that version, we are taking the place into the same version with the compatible version. When we are using low level version, we are install higher level Django versions. It's create incompatibility inside the system. So there is a problem to execute the applications. So that's why we have to remember this one also. Why? Because here the the installation process going on like this, based on versions. When we are using 2.1 or 2.1.7 Django version, here the Python version is the Python version is completely 3.7.0. So this is the compatible versions. When we are using 3.7.0 version in Python, in that time we are installed Django is 2.1.7. So same like that, the situation is going on like this. When we take the command prompt, where we are install this command, we are using command prompt. Why? Because it's completely server-based applications and it's completely based on URLs. It's working. So the setup is going to very different from compared to previous programming languages. That's why we are taking place like this. The terminal is going like this. When we are taking the command prompt and run the commands, the installation process is going on like this. After complete the installation, after complete the installation in the systems, well, we have to verify that Django installation process is it's available or not. Is installation process taking place a proper way or not? We have to take place into the systems. So then that time we are using that command line. We are first of all we enter into the shell programming like Python like this. Uh, I want to take place into the command prompt like this. First of all, we have to identify the Python version like this. After verify the Python version, now we have to verify the Django version like this. Import Django. So when the Django install in your system, the next line will be proceeded like this. Otherwise, it will showing an error. Then we get out into the shell programming, and then we install the process like this. We're taking get out of that shell programming. Now we're taking as a pip install Django double equal to whatever the version you required. You keep the version like 1.7, 2.1.7. 2.1.7, you click on enter, the process is going to installation. After complete this one, we have to take place same like this. The Python version is available or not, and then go to take command line like this. Import Django. Django dot get underscore version. Version, open, close the parenthesis, click on enter. What is that? Django. So mistake is going on. Actually, taking as Django dot get underscore version. Like this, we have to take. Django dot get underscore version. What happened? Import Django dot get underscore version. I have to check it like this. So this is the way to verify the Django version. Which version is we have to install inside, and we have to take place into the installation process and verification process going on like this in Django framework installation. After that, Django project. This is very essential. When you know about this Django framework clearly, then only you understand how to develop and how to design the project. Here we are. This is the combination of combination of framework actually. So here we are working with Python programming as well as scripting programming. Programming and scripting are available inside the system. So we are match both programming and scripting process inside the application. So this is completely different. In the previous topic, we have installed Django successfully. Now we will learn step-by-step process create Django application. Already morning in the morning session, we are complete that one. So that is going like this actually. Actually, this is the project basic project actually. So every project have backend compulsory. That is called as database. One types of database we are using SQLite, and we are creating manual databases also like this. So here, when we create application, already morning in the session we are create an application like my project. So in that location, we are taking place college app like this. So, how to design the design of framework? There is some command line is there. Using a small command, it create a queues framework inside the system. So here, Django take place. There is nothing in manual process. Why? Because it should be there in preloaded content inside the framework. So just we are give the input and take the output from the application using that what you required content inside the Django framework. So how to create the Django framework? Already we are discussed in the morning here. So this is the command we have to take place inside the framework. Just we are taking design after complete the installation process. Just we write this command Django admin start project college app like that. Then the time this type of applications will be generated. So when this type of applications generated, the main application contain this content. So this main application, what is the Python applications available inside in it settings, URLs, WSGI. So these are the main application generated when write a small command like this. This command generate this framework. What is inside like this. So here edit and WSGI web server graphical interface WSGI init initialization. This initialization applications have nothing will be there inside. Just its support to this remaining applications. That's all. So the remaining two applications are very essential. What is that? Settings and URLs. The settings are created as connections established between the front end to back end, and it add the pages what you required pages to add into the framework design the framework. And next this settings have the content is going like this. Already we discussed in the morning. So here it explain the which version we have to use it over here. What is the Django version they're used inside the application that's explained by this setting application. And one more here installed apps. This is the part we add the whatever the content, whatever the apps we have to add extra into the uh, framework. After that, the middleware. The middleware is the taking a security part inside into the application. So this authorization, authentication, contributes. These are all available inside the middleware. Next, we are taking as a template part. How to the templates templates are taking place in background of the application. Then that information given by these templates, the template information going on like this. This is backend process are there, directories are there, app directories are there, and options, different kind of options is processors are inside in the templates. Okay. Next, after that, WSGI. The WSGI is the application. It is give the support to the backend, backend to the uh, Django framework. And next, we have to take place is a very essential databases. This is very essential. Is a it provides the connection to the database to front end. So it establishes the connection between the front end to back end. So this is the content is completely explained which engine you have to you have to use in this application in the backend for backend purpose. Database MySQL. The MySQL is the take place to store the data inside the application. So the whatever the application, whatever the front end application access the data from the backend that take place by MySQL in this location. And next, we are creating database name. The name also indicated this location. So this name indicates database name, and then this is server username and password. Server username and password. Which type of servers we are using? MySQL, for example, we are using MySQL. MySQL have username and password compulsory. So and then host. So which location you have to run this application? You are running a cloud location, a third party location, or your local system location. When we are use this local system location, then the time this local system ID, this is the local system IP address. The IP address was mentioned here compulsory because of connecting process. So here, the client and server process based on the connectivity. How it connect each other IP address, internet protocol. So without internet protocol, we can't do anything. So that is called as host IP address. So this is also one of the essential part we have to remember in this database connectivity location. And then we have to move where the port location. The port is what is that every server have some port number, so that indicates server only. So based on that, we are mentioned at this location. Moreover, so the password validators for security reasons and language codes, zones. This is different kind of information given by the settings. The settings are very essential for connecting to front end to back end. It's one of the most important application at main application in Django framework. And next we have to discuss about URLs. URLs is a very essential because when we run the front end application, then the time this URL will be playing major role to run the application, whatever. So this is command, this programming line. This is indicate so how many templates you are using inside, you are created and you are using in this application. That all application accessed by this include student.urls. So this is a URL part. This URL part is very essential. After complete this one, we have to move WSGI. This is application support application. Nothing will be there inside. Just this empty file, but it gives the Django models. What is the setting models and what is the application? What is the app you are added into the Django framework that add information, add application information given by this application. It's a web server graphical interface. This stands for WSGI. So these after complete this one, we have to move. We are creating one app, sub app, or that is called as page. Number of pages are there inside any websites. So there are different templates we have to access from this. What is the subclass sub app that is called as what we had created like students. So in this location, we mentioned as a weaves. We are working with weaves as well as migrations as well as templates. The different templates we are creating, the total HTML pages we have to create at this location. So this whatever the HTML pages we have to add to presentation layer, and we have to keep it into the views at this location. These views are maintained this complete template part, and read that complete template parts and add to the main application like this. Suppose this this is a student home page. The home page HTML page we have to mention at this location using this written pulse. Already morning we are just example project we had done in the morning. That example project give the information how to display the information in browser location, right? Now we are entering into the part whatever the templates we are designed. The templates are designed at this location. Actually, the templates are completely designed at this location. Suppose that this is open with any browser. The page will display like this. So here is the matter is there inside. So we are what we required. Based on that, we have to design that application using that HTML template, HTML programming part. So after complete this one, we have to add that complete thing at Weave's location. So different templates you are using at this moment. So different HTML pages we have to add like this at Weave's location. But here, when we design the HTML pages, the HTML page is going to different category going on here. What is that? Yeah, when we open that coding part, here the load static keys we are using here. But HTML pages only doc type HTML they are starting the header lines. But when we are going to Django, the Django is going to create a different type of structure into the visualization part. So the presentation layer take place. It's a load static. The load static is considered as a Django. And here we are using meta character set UTF-8 database related content. What are the databases we are using inside? The database are using this meta character line like this, and then which type of meta names are we are using? These are all belongs to Django part completely. So compared to normal text, normal HTML pages. So we have to understand this meta content or statistical content. Then only we design this type of HTML templates in the Django framework. After complete this templates, we are add the templates at Weaves location. The Weaves are added that content, whatever the designed HTML part. So after complete this, the form is standard location and standard part as well as standard logical part. So these are the templates we are using at this moment. Yeah, before we had complete that application, just we have write the matter only. So now we are at the content. What is the content? What is the template? What is visualization part? What is the particular design over there? These are all we are mentioned over here. So that's why these pages are recall at browser location automatically when we're using these views. So here we understand one thing here. Just we focus on only three types of applications. We have to write the code and run the web-based project application. We have to understand here. So here the settings are there. Settings is establish the connection as well as add the new page to the main application. And URLs is playing role. Whatever the content, whatever the HTML templates you have designed, that total templates are displaying on the monitor. That purpose we are using this URL part. And views are generating what it kind views add that pages and display display the presentation layer. That is the part taking place at this moment. So now I want to execute this one. How to execute this application? So after complete that process, templating and migrations and whatever you required content you have to install at this location. After that, you have to move manage location. This manage file is main file location when we create the Django framework inside the application. Next, here come into the manage.py application location and then go to address bar, take command line from here. So now we are give the command line to execute this application like Python manage.py run server. This is the command we have to run this application, and we get the localhost URL. Use this command line. After that, we have to enter into the part. We get the localhost ID like this. This is the localhost ID. Use this localhost ID, and here go to browser, and then you keep that localhost ID here, right here, and you paste that. We use URL location. Here we are using in this part URL location. The path is home. Just we are not giving nothing. Nothing means we have to giving here. The path is home. Just click on enter. So here already this one server is going to run. That's why that is taking place into this one. So when we close that one, automatically we are entering into our project location. So when we run the server, we have to close the server immediately. Then only it's working properly. Otherwise, it stay in same location only. So we have to remember that one also. So that is the part. So this is the way to design that Django framework, Django website framework applications. So we're taking as a registration of pages and login pages like this, and I'm trying to go home, the login, registration, courses like this. So different applications we are designing and displaying on the monitor like this using Django framework. So yeah, we are completely we are taking a designing part into the Django frame using Django frame. So this is the way we have to develop the Django frameworks, and we have to write that content inside and run the applications whatever. So this is the way the example projects taking place. We are creating a project like this. We are the start project and whatever the project name you have to mention like this. So this is the way to execute the project and locate into the project whatever. It is when we are taking a path lines. Already we are discussing about that. So here the location paths are going like this. First of all, when we are opening the command prompt, that is located C drive location. Yeah. Enter that path into D drive location. We are taking place like this.
The download చేయాలా
Yes, yes, ma'am. Anyone, any queries? Yes. So this is the way to take the directory process, and then we have execute the command lines, and then we run the project like this. This is the basic introduction of Django framework. And here we have to discuss one more thing also. How to running the Django project also we had done here. So this is the way to take the command line, how to run this project and everything. When we run the project, we get the local host like this, and when we run the project, that is taking place like this classroom, whatever. So when we design this one, this is only front end part. And what about back end part? So by back end also we required for this application. So how to add this back end, and what is the versions, what is the servers we are using in back end. These are all information we have to discuss now. When we are work with local hosts systems. When we work with local host systems, then the time these local host systems have working with the static servers only. Why? Because that is working with only single system only. That's why. And here, when we are working with dynamic locations, there is we are using cloud servers. The cloud server is going to different. That is working with dynamic part, dynamic locations. So here we have the servers, backend servers are there, MySQL and WAMP server and Postgres MySQL. Different kind of servers are there. We are using that servers into the backend and take the storage process into that. So now we have to discuss about that. Uh, the Django framework are accessing like this. This is the port number for this local host and everything. That is what I discussed in the morning, and check it in now. What is that content inside? So now we are entering into the database. The database. What is database in the means? It means a data collection part, data storage part, where when the data is taking place to take the storage location, that is called as database actually. So this database agenda we have to discuss now is completely different criteria. So when we are using MVT model, MVT process, in that location model, the model indicates as a database. The model creates database. The model creates different model fields. First, we have to do what is the agenda. Database agenda is what is model. Here is the model is indicating like this. This we have to take the general information about this. What is that? A model is the single definitive source of information about your data. So whatever the data we have to enter into the front-end application, in that data we have to store the data in back-end process that is called as that is taking place as a model. So next, it contains the essential field and behaviors of the data you are storing. So this database content completely managed by model in treated architecture. In that architectural pattern, the model is taking as a initial mode. So it's take place very essential for data storing. Generally, each model maps in a single database table. Commonly, we are discussing about this. What is that? As a database, it maintain number of tables. In the table, each single database it maintain number of tables. Each model maps to single database table. So database have it contain number of tables. Each database maintain number of tables we have to discuss here. So each model is a Python class, that subclass Django.db.models.model. So this command we have to use for database section. In the time the database is taking place to connect into the front end parts. The model use this command line for particular subclasses, whatever the subclasses we are using in backend Python classes. That Python classes take place into the model. The model is taking place into the Django. Django take place into the database. The database use that models, different models inside. This is the content we are using into the Django web-based frameworks. So each attribute of the model represents a database field. So first of all, we are using that create model. Create your first model, whatever the model you have to create. So use this from Django.db import models. So then in that location there is Python classes is there. The class is person model. The first name, underscore name. This is the characters we are using input data. That is the fields names, the field names we are using inside. This is the way to create that one into the model location, database model. Model fields. So what is model fields? So first we have discussed about the model only, and next we have to discuss about the model fields. The fields are organized into records, the data. Whatever the data, each row and column have maintained on record. That record into the contain all the information within the table relevant to the specific entity. So when we are working with databases, we are discussing lot of informations inside. So suppose that how many categories are there inside the database when we discuss here. The database contained the basically data definition languages, and next constraints, next views, joins, and stored procedures, and uh, cursors, triggers, a different kind of information given by these databases. Based on requirement we are using inside the applications, which one is we require, we are present into the applications. So the model field, the records are depends on that one. So here we are using one basic operation. What is that? The CRUD operation we are using in data field location. The CRUD operation means data definition language. The data definition language, how there is different language, five types of language are there. What is that five types of languages? DDL, DML, DQL, DCL, TCL, different kind of five types of languages are there. The DDL given commands like create, alter, drop, truncate, DML, their data manipulation language provide insert, delete, update commands, and DQL is very essential. Data query language is the command is only one command is there. That command name is select. That is called as read. So in this model field models, we are using different types of field options relationships we are using inside. So those are help to run the application, run the application, as well as the data. When we insert into the data, or the data is storing and accessing part take place into the command lines. So this field type, auto field and boolean field and character field and date field, different kind of mapping, the map table we are using here. So the field defined inside the model class are the columns names on the of the map table. So in integer field that automatically increments, and store value false or true or false, and generally used for checkboxes. And character field indicates a string field for small to large size strings, as well as date fields. A date field represented the Python date and time and date instance. So based on requirement, we are using database content. That when the database contains different kind of criteria we are discussed here. So fields options. The field options are also used in this database content, the customized part and constraint and the table rows. So before going to database content, we have to know what is that particular content we have to use inside the application. So here, when we move to constraints, constraints are very essential for conditional applicabilities. So here, when we are using these constraints, primary key, foreign key, not null key, and check key, unique key, different kind of constraints we're using for based on requirements. In that time, in the length of the characters, the length of the size, the length of the storage content. Based on that, we are using this one. For example, here we are using name equals model dot character field max underscore length equals to 60 is the size of that particular name we are using inside into the database location, that particular record location. So these are the content we are discussing about database backend content into the database framework. What is the data Django framework? So next we have to discuss about the model field relationships. It's very essential. Is about the power of relational database lines in relating the tables to each other. Django offers where to define the three most common types of database relationships. For example, many to one, many to many, one to one. So these are the field relationships we are using inside the database. So what is that many to one and one to many, many to many? It's a different structure is given here. The definitions are given here. What types of commands we are using here. So this complete structure using model. The model is given here actually. The models are there in main views applications. So where we are using that one use that at this moment at this location in database. So just we look have a look at this location. So Django DB dot models. From Django DB. How to use that database content into Django framework here? The framework are using like this. So we are import that models like this. So here we are whatever the table was created, each table contain constraint part here. The constraint part maintain a primary key, foreign key, whatever the requirement based content, not null, check key, and different types of constraints we are using here using this part. So the models are using one to many to one relationship. What is that? To define many to one relationship, use Django.db models foreign key. So many to one means what number of tables related to each other, one to one. That is a foreign key process. So a table related to another table. So the different tables are there. The table have some common relationship inside. So that is explained by this foreign key. So Django.db models foreign key we have to use at the many to one relationship. So here use it just like any other field type by including it as a class attribute of your model. So like this, for example, we are giving here the example part is class manufacturer, the models and model pass. What is that? The class is car, manufacturer is taking as a class car, and the model manufacturer model foreign key. The whatever the cascading we are using when we are using foreign key structure is manufacturer on delete cascading is one of the major one of the main component main structure we have to use one of the main component we have to use at this location. So on delete it goes to models dot cascade. So when we are using that relational based one to many or many to one relationship, then the time we are using this keyword to run this application to access the front end to back end content and to transmit the data between front end to back end. And next, many to one relationships is a very essential. This is one also is many to many relationship, many to many field. What is that? You can see just like the field type by including it a class attribute of model. And for example, this is the content where, for example, we are taking as example, if a pizza has multiple uh, topping objects, that is a topping can be on multiple pizzas, and each pizza has multiple toppings. So here's how you represent that, just like this. So just you pass it this type of programming inside the application, then that many relationship content is going on inside the application. So the Django models and class topping and class pizza models overall process taking like this. And then one-to-one relationship. The one-to-one relationship when you're taking as a without a database creation like SQLite. When we are creating the Django framework, SQLite will be created automatically inside the application. This is Django SQLite programming. So this is provided by Django framework. This is self database for this application. So it is required migrations and migrate different processes there. We have to install that migrations and migrate. Then only it's working properly without using database, without creating any table. Automatically the tables are created inside only. So the tables are used inside and run inside. And that is the process going on inside. That is called as one-to-one. We are taking place into the Django framework. So these are the fields we are using in database location. And one more is meta options. The class are meta class is the class of a class. Meta is one of the part. Class of a class is nothing but meta class. So the class defines how an instance of the class behaves, while a meta class defines how a class behaves. So here is it explains same content, but the procedure is going to different. That's it. So a class is an instant of a meta class. You give a model metadata by using an inner class meta. So this is the way to use that one. For example, you are giving that metadata class student. For example, we take in the models of models, model class field, max length field. The name is taking as a characterization 50 length, varchar max length. And then class meta is ordering name, student, data table and students. Ordering as a name, we are meta database table where it is available, that name we are using the database name. So this is the indication by meta options. Meta data about data is nothing but metadata. So that's why we are taking as place like that. Here databases, how many database servers we are using inside the Django framework. So Django officially supports the following databases. First one, PostgreSQL. This PostgreSQL completely in cloud-based server. This cloud-based server taking place to data store, taking the data store inside the database. And um, MariaDB, Maria database. This is also one of the database. This is called as a WAMP server. Where it's maintained WAMP. The WAMP server given this MariaDB is one of the part to store the data inside the database. And next SQLite, is a Django framework database. Is a Django framework generated this MySQL SQLite. This SQLite provide migrations as well as migrate. Based on that procedure, the data will be stored inside the application, inside the database. And MySQL Yoga. This is GUI for MySQL. So this MySQL is a very fantastic software and a very efficient database, local database server we are using present at the academic level project location. And Oracle database is a huge database. It's Oracle. Where nowadays we are use that content, but we are not using Oracle content. We are using only MySQL, SQLite, MariaDB, or PostgreSQL. Like this, these are the databases we are using for to store the data backend into the Django framework applications or Django framework projects. Telling Django about your database, for example. So here are already we discussed about this. So without create any table into the database, how to use that database? The explained by this content, database content. So, for example, already morning we are creating one project like this. So here in this location we are use that SQLite. It's created by Django framework, but here now we are displaying on the monitor. Project is there, that is the student class. Here the database was created by us. We are creating one new database or data on the table. We are inserting to the table into the database. Then that is taking place to action into the Django project. So there is two different kind of criteria are going on side. So here the database activities taking place at setting location. Already we discussed in previous section. So here the database section is there. This is the database section. This database section create a connection between the front end to back end. So we are taking place, so modify the default key value pair. So it looks something like the following example like this. This is SQLite created by Django framework, and this is the path for Django framework. That's settings.py location. So overall content we have to mention over there. Based on this way, we are connecting database to the front end. So when we use this word, it's completely connecting whole application and give the result properly. That is the main part of Django framework as well. So today we are discussing the content completely introduction, and as well as what is the process to develop the Django framework, and what is the content inside of the application. So which applications we are using in using this development process, how many applications are there to design the project, what is the content we required, like templates and everything. So we have discussed this one today, and this is the most powerful web-based framework. Django is completely different from previous programming compared to previous programming, and this framework was creating more efficient, accurate uh, web-based websites and web-based applications. So this framework we have introducing now is very essential part into the IT market. Yes. So this is the information about the Django framework. So tomorrow we are taking place, how to design the templates and template process, what is the template process, what is HTML content, and what is the navigation, how to create the particular tables inside the HTML pages. So these are all things we have to discuss. Tomorrow we are taking place in the morning, HTML and development process, web development process. When when we complete the web development process, then we enter into the Django project development process. How to take place into the development into templates and all. We have to discuss tomorrow. So this is the intention of Django framework. It's very different from compared to different previous programmings. So is there anyone, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
If you have any doubts, please ask in chat box. Sir will reply you.
Okay,
Dear
sir.
participants, if you have any doubts,
Take doubt session, sir. I'm ready to give the answers for that.
dear